As you see the Broncos hit the field, some changes there in their backline in particular. We're getting word through. We'll try and confirm with Brent Tate, our sideline eye, as the game progresses, that Herbie Farnworth, a late omission for the Brisbane Broncos due to perhaps a COVID positive. For the moment, though, Tony Staggs is out there, the Dally M Centre of the year, of course. A couple of seasons ago now, had the ACL injury. Coming back from that, he had an injury as well to his knee, the same knee at the end of last year. It wasn't another ACL, but you can't wait to see this guy get a full season once again under his belt.
Yeah, well, he looks so fit. Just watching him last week against the Gold Coast Titans, he's really leaned up. His strength and power was on show, and we get a chance to see him in action tonight. The battle of the two fullbacks is electric tonight. Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow at fullback, a taste of origin last year. He comes up against young Selwyn Cobbo as we see Chad Townsend lead the Cowboys out for the first time as captain. And a lot of pressure on Townsend, whether he can steer this Cowboys side out of what's been a relatively severe rut over the recent seasons.
High-profile signing, having had a trip via the Warriors to Townsville from the Sharks. Chad Townsend will be in North Queensland for this season, and to be on it, there is the hammer. It will start tonight in the fullback role. We'll wait and see if he stays there. He was a centre for most of 2021.
What about Saab last night? Tolu Kula. We saw some speed. Will we see that tonight?
I think the Saab, given what we saw, might still be the fastest man in rugby league. Despite all the hype about Tolu Kula, we've got a Hammer Time show here tonight as well. The Broncos take on the Cowboys. Coming to you from BB Prince Stadium in Mackay. It's the Cowboys to get things underway, and some vigorous defence straight away from the Broncos to stop Jermaine Tanoa Brown. To pick up for the Cowboys in 2022, he's Reuben Cotter going backwards. Strong defence from the Broncos once again. Corey Pake's out there to begin the game in the number 9 jersey, with Jake Turpin coming off the bench for Brisbane. Robson from dummy half. Goes down this left-hand side, takes Dearden with him. Playing in the 6th jersey tonight. You can see a fair bit of surface water on the ground here in Mackay. There has been a fair bit of rain earlier in the evening. It has improved greatly, though, in the past 30 minutes or so. Cohen Hess at the halfway line will play it. It goes back to Townsend. Clearing kick here to put Cobbo under pressure. Makes a good catch, going down on one knee before he stumbles awkwardly into the tackle there. Dearden coming down, and also with Reuben Cotter. He's slowly back to his feet, but he looks to be okay, Selwyn Cobbo.
Yeah, geez, that could have been dangerous. Cobbo, a great take. High ball there. Off the kick from the Cowboys. You can see there just almost, yeah, he does. He collects the shin of Tom Dearden, as we see an early penalty here for the Broncos. That's a relieving one. And just watching the Broncos throughout the week and on the back of last week, really pleased to see young Corey Pates get an opportunity at dummy half. I thought he was tremendous against the Titans when he came on, brought a real spark. They've got a great forward pack, the Brisbane Broncos, in terms of potential and what they can do, and he seemed to be able to unlock that a little more than Jake Turpin last week, and he gets an opportunity tonight in the number 9 jersey. Haas now.
Yeah, they were battling before Pakes came on in the second half of that game last week. They were down 26 points to 8, the Broncos. Eventually got back to 26 all at full time in that game against the Titans. They're here inside the 20. Pakes waits at dummy half. They'll come to this left-hand side where Hetherington has met there, and a solid tackle by Reece Robson. Got off his line very quickly there, made a good stop. Now Gamble through the hands of Cobbo. Comes away to Tony Staggs, who was taken down a couple of metres short. It was desperate defence, and solid at that from Gamble. In the starting side, with the admission, of course, of Albert Kelly out with injury for tonight. They'll work it forward here, the Broncos, through Carrigan. They'll play it about 5 away. To the right-hand side, Gamble grubbers. It's a beauty as well. And coming through to score, Jordan Ricky plants it down for the Broncos. Terrific. Just dab off the boot of Tyson Gamble, getting a chance in the starting side here again tonight, and he lays on 4 points.
Yeah, that's a nice touch there from Gamble, who had a tough night against the Gold Coast Titans last week. Nice ball here from Pakes on the try line, out in front, and just getting the boot to the ball as quick as possible. Rushing defence, the Cowboys up in his face, Ricky flying through. And on the back of what was a pretty ordinary performance from Gamble last week, that'll do the confidence a world of good. He's in the battle for the number 6 jersey tonight, along with Walters, to partner Adam Reynolds in round 1, and that's a good start. Nice first touch from Tyson Gamble. And Jordan Ricky picks up the first try of the evening. A good balance on their back row now, you think, the Broncos. Very athletic, the power running of Jordan Ricky, and the unpredictability of Capewell, the big signing over the summer. Plenty for that man there, Kevin Walters, to like early.
He wears his heart in his sleeve. Always Kevin Walters. We saw that plenty of times in 2021. Does it tough on the bench, and given their form, of course, in recent seasons, have been a bit to be wearing your heart on his sleeve about as a Broncos coach in recent seasons, no matter who had the job. Now Staggs to try and convert the try by Jordan Ricky. The Broncos a bright start here against the Cowboys in Mackay. About 15 in on the touchline. Good strike. Tony Staggs brings his kicking boots to Mackay tonight. They lead 6 points to 0. Downstairs to Brent Tate.
Oh, good evening, Woz. Good evening, Mick. Well, we had a huge storm here early in the night, but the conditions are fine up and it's quite nice. I always love these Broncos-Cowboys matches, even though it's a trial match. And tonight the Cowboys get a first look at Val Holmes in the centres and what a challenge he's got up against Tony Staggs. So should be one to watch, boys.
Yeah, lots of reasons to be watching this tonight, no matter whether you're a Cowboys fan, a Broncos fan, or just a rugby league fan, because there are so many question marks over both these teams, quite obviously, given where they've been over the past couple of seasons. High restart here from the Cowboys. Goes down to Jordan Pereira. Picked up from the Dragons to keep his NRL career going here with Brisbane. A player who spent some time in Mackay back before he broke through into the NRL ranks with the Dragons.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Just hearing Brent Tate, former Australian centre, talk about the importance of Valentine Holmes in his battle tonight up against Tony Staggs. Todd Payten opting not to have Scott Drinkwater, who was their most creative player in the side, so a lot of pressure on Dearden and also Townsend in terms of how they use Valentine Holmes, one of their superstars, and also new recruit Peter Hiku out on the opposite edge this evening as well.
Or juggle here, moment there for Gamble, having laid on the try, got cream for his efforts as well, having only just got boot to ball. Took a real shot for his trouble. He's okay though, back up on his feet and in the defensive line for the Broncos. It's a bit slippery out there, given the surface water, as you can see, is... Oh, Felt will play it here, just outside the Cowboys 30. There's Robson from dummy half. There's the right edge where Peter Hiku was playing on the right-hand side. Valentine Holmes on that left-hand side.
They're struggling to make meters here, the Cowboys. That'll help.
Hanging on too long there after the tackle was completed, according to the referee, Kurt Capewell, with the C next to his name tonight for the Broncos.
It looks to be a real plan from Kevin Walters defensively. They're getting off their line and numbers into the tackle, but they're holding the Cowboys players up in these conditions where it's slippery underfoot and dragging the Cowboys back. It's frustrating their outside backs, and unfortunately for the Broncos, a penalty late in the tackle count won't please Kevin Walters, and a great opportunity now for the Cowboys to attack.
Well, they were brittle on their own line early last week against the Titans, the Broncos. We'll see how they fare here tonight. This first real chance for the Cowboys at this end of the field. There's Noah Brown. Contact there as Carrigan got off the line with some speed. I'll play it here just inside the 30 from Townsend. Comes back to Cohen Hess, who is very much a middle forward these days, having begun his career as an edge forward. Loses it with some help, as it turns out, from Jordan Ricky, who had a hand in there. Thinking about a quick tap instead. They will play it here. And begin through Reuben Cotter. Takes it inside the red zone. It's Robson on this left edge. Dearden chipping it on. They couldn't hang on to it though. There was a chance there on this left-hand side, and they put it down through Tom Gilbert.
Yeah, timing's still not there in these pre-season games. Townsend getting his hands on the footy nice and early. They're going deep into the line. Out the back to Dearden and just trying to square up the defensive line. Had a chance here one-on-one. And unfortunately, unable to hang on to the pass there.
The Broncos get out of their own end the easy way if they can get through this set of 6 without incidents. Just one try so
into the
far.
hole, Nanai. He was on time. He was charging into the right space, just unable to handle the ball under pressure. Good run. Popper.
Jumping in the fullback, helping out the forwards. They work it back towards the halfway line. I'll play it here eventually through Hetherington. Now playing Haas. Return from the ankle injury he suffered at the back end of 2021. Surgery to get him back on the field this year. He's had a pretty good pre-season though, as come forward here. Oh, ripping the ball free. Walters had a play at it. Gives it back to the Broncos, and it's play on as Carrigan dives on it. A mistake by the Cowboys. Gamble with his right-hand side. Ricky asking a question there of Dearden. Gilbert there also. I'll play it just outside the 10. Here's Haas. Bounces off the shoulder there of Hess. They have to stay with him and make the tackle. And he'll play it about 3 metres away. Pakes. Looking to the left-hand side. Short ball here. Carrigan, though, will nub it up on. Plenty of bodies in front of him, including to Noah Brown and also Lukey. From Hetherington, it goes to Gamble. Here is Staggs. Little shimmies. He runs towards Holmes. It's quite the battle, isn't it? Holmes did well there, though, with some help on the inside from Gilbert. Goes to Gamble. He grubbers. One bouncer, though. Tabuai-Fidow was there. And the Cowboys have done well to hang on after the mistake on the kick. The end of the set.
He did well there. Tabuai-Fidow just followed Tyson Gamble across, and in the wet conditions scooped that ball up beautifully, the big man. And the Cowboys, I'll be pleased with that. So will Todd Payton. We've spoken about their defensive situation last year, where sides, particularly on their edges, just found ways through their defensive line far too easy. And that's good signs early from the Cowboys.
All right, Talangi in there for a carry from the left-hand side. They'll keep it going here through Gilbert. He'll play it for Robson. Back to Dearden from inside the 40. In fact, a foot on top of the 40. Don't know that Cobbo will realise that, but he makes the catch anyway. And we'll bring it back midfield here. Good tackle again. Dearden muscling up in defence. Second time at this end of the field. He's made a big stop.
It's one thing we love about Tom Dearden from what we've seen. He's certainly a competitor. Great kick downfield, chased his kick, strong contact under the ball. Townsend there, his halves partner as well. Good signs from the Cowboys halves.
Walters playing it from Pakes. They go to this left-hand side where they'll work it up towards the halfway line. Corey Oates playing it, and he decide 6 more plays in the process as Haas play it here just outside the 40. Pakes at dummy half. Comes to Carrigan. Slowly off their line there, the Cowboys. Good meters for Carrigan. Quickish play the ball as well. Gamble, players in motion. Tip on from Cobbo. A chance on this right-hand side. Pereira, though, got up. I think he was tackled and then passed it after the completion of the tackle. We're going to say knock on, though, against the Cowboys. I thought Pereira was tackled.
Yeah, really hard to bring down that close to the line. Just great skill here from Cobbo. Great awareness. The catch and pass in these conditions was adventurous, but he nails the execution. Pereira hard to stop. That's a great tackle underneath. Valentine Holmes coming across. He's had his hands full early. Both Pereira and Katoni Staggs extremely strong opposition. Handling himself well, Holmes. And the Broncos now with great attacking opportunity. This is where Walters wants to see Gamble and also his son stand up and make the most of these opportunities.
The Broncos win the scrum. They go left where Walters will play it. A couple of metres away. A heavy surface here in Mackay, getting off the line quickly. Heku will tap it forward and knock it down, and the Broncos will bring it back for a scrum feed and a full set of 6 once again.
Yeah, looking to attack that right side of the Cowboys there. Cobbo swinging both sides of the field. He's moving well. Looks to be such an exciting talent. A little bit of inexperience there, just the rushing defence up there. Hiku, too experienced, up in his face. Always going to be a hard pass to land in wet conditions. Got away with it the first time, the previous set, not so that time.
Stay in there, Hamiso. Hold in,
Walters with the feed. Wrapping to the right-hand side, trying to make the extra number here. Linking up with Gamble. The Cowboys inside the distance there on the scrum. A bonus tackle for the Broncos. New set begins as Haas takes a lot of stopping here. Potter only just dragging him down from behind in particular. Pakes, Carrigan comes across. Haas, good contact.
Great offload.
Can't stop the offload though. Pakes quickly to Hetherington. Broncos looking for their second try inside this opening 20 minutes. Pakes goes to Gamble. Ricky was there in the front line. Cobbo was the option though. He saw, was it Holmes coming out of the line quickly? It'll be knocked back is the call and play on to Brisbane. One was knocked on for your life. Instead, Cobbo has it here. They've got more tackles remaining in this set. Haas it is.
They need more than that, the Broncos. Haas just charging close to the line.
This is the last. On top of the line, Pakes. He goes wide, Gamble. Another grubber, doesn't make it through the line. Walters a juggle. He lost it forwards. And the Cowboys have survived once again inside their own 20.
Cow's feet.
Yeah, Cowboys feed. Yeah, look at Chad Townsend there. Really impressed with the defence. Pretty ordinary set from the Broncos. Not many questions asked at all. And the Cowboys can only defend what's in front of them, and they're doing a sound job at the moment. That man had his hands full. Really tough back into the season, wasn't it, last year? 10 straight losses, and defensively they were horrible at times. And,
10 seconds, guys.
he'd be really pleased. He'd be really pleased with the start to this game. They've been down on their line a number of times and defended well. An opportunity now to get out of their end through Kyle Felt.
The Cowboys work it away. Reminder, tomorrow the Storm take on the Knights. Will bring you that one push forward as far as kickoff. Just on Monday night with the game between the Warriors and the Titans being pushed back. So a doubleheader now on Monday night, and tomorrow it's the Storm and the Knights live from Ballarat. Kicking off at 5:45 Eastern Daylight Savings Time. As Robson goes to Townsend here. Cowboys to work it away. Get back into Broncos territory. One more play here for Robson to fit it back for Townsend. Another kick with Cobbo under pressure. He's been good so far under the high ball. Rain has stopped shortly before kickoff. Good news for the back three of both teams here tonight at a venue that saw plenty of action NRL-wise after the lockdown in New South Wales and the relocation of the competition in 2021 to Queensland exclusively. And Mackay, we were at Redcliffe quite a bit as well. Rockhampton eventually got some games as well. That was great to see. As Haas takes it up, bring it back here to the halfway line. They'll play it for Pakes. He's got Hetherington going with him. Contact from the Cowboys so far defensively has been good. I mentioned the coach a moment ago, Mick, and Todd Clayton would be happy to see that given what happened at the end of 2021. Going to the air, Tabuai for Doe under a bit of pressure here, but he, like Cobbo before him, makes a good catch. And they'll begin here in a corner just outside their own 10.
Yeah, really impressed with the start physically from Brisbane at the moment. They seem to have great variation through the middle. I like Carrigan and what he's doing through the middle. Payne Haas already up over 80 metres carrying the footy in the first 17 minutes of the game. This is the take from Tabuai Fido. And their outside backs doing a good job. Cobbo, Oates, Pereira's looking for work. They're doing a good job physically at the moment, the Broncos.
Mitchell Dunn is out there now for Todd Clayton and the Cowboys as Townsend kicks again from inside his own 40. Puts Oates this time on the run. Nice catch by the veteran. Is it fair to call Corey Oates a veteran winger? He's been around a long time now.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's still got plenty to offer. He's had some great carries already early in this contest. Branko Lee now with his first real opportunity of the night.
Off contract at the end of this season is Corey Oates. One-time wannabe back rower. Confirmed now that he's going to stay on the wing throughout this season especially as Comes back to the middle. Carrigan take it forward.
It's been good, Carrigan. Really good after a disrupted 2021.
Plenty of touches early on here as the kick goes towards the sideline. Tabuai for Doe coming across. Good chase by Ricky. Gamble's there also, and he'll make the tackle on the Cowboys fullback. Only a couple of metres out from his own line. Well, it promises to be, or shapes up to be, certainly a low-scoring game on a heavy surface. Kicking game important for both teams, and a bit of pressure on the halves combinations, these new halves combinations for both clubs.
Yeah, been impressed with Gamble early on, and often, you know, like we saw last week where Kelly and Walters were given the first opportunity, he came on, Tyson Gamble, and was trying to put 80 minutes into 20. And he came up with a number of errors, as we see a penalty here against Kurt Capewell. He overplayed his hand. Tyson Gamble came up with a number of errors, but tonight, after starting the game, he's had some really nice touches. He's building his game. Great kick and chase there. Just doing the basics, doing the fundamentals well. That's what Kevin Walters wants. He said in the pre-game he wants consistency out of his half who's going to play alongside Reynolds, and at the moment Gamble's doing that.
Kurt Capewell wasn't too impressed with the call from the referee, but according to the man with the whistle, he was hanging on too long there. They begin with Noah Brown, taking it back into Broncos territory. Dearden turning it back underneath. Ilam Lukey. Signed by the club until the end of 2025. They're so impressed have they been with what he's done in the past 12 months. Dunn goes to Townsend on this left-hand side. Good tackle there by Ricky on Gilbert, who'll play it eventually. Try to pinch a couple of metres. Now Dunn at the line. We'll play it in front of the uprights. Robson from dummy half. Looks left, goes right. Townsend is there. Turns Lukey back underneath him. Good tackle around the legs, though. It was made by Hetherington. Some help over the top from Cobbo also. Townsend misses it, goes backwards anyway if he did touch it. Now comes back to Tabuai for Doe, puts a grubber in for himself. What a kick! He gets the bounce, the hammer. It was never going to take too long for the hammer to show what he can do in 2022. An ad-lib piece of play, a little grubber on a greasy night, and he scores the Cowboys first for the game.
Yeah, that was brilliant. You could just see it unfolding, couldn't you? I mean, Townsend under pressure was a poor pass from dummy half. Right out in front, just slipped through the hands in the conditions from Townsend. He saw the pressure coming from Jordan Ricky. Look at this, he just summed it up, recognised Cobbo's not at the back. Beautiful little kick off the inside of the right boot. He is a star, this kid. Got a taste of Origin last year. This will look great on this angle. Watch this. Here he goes, looping around, looking, scanning, dribbles it through. That's brilliant, the hammer. What a touch. The Cowboys hit back.
Mick, he's a wonderful talent. We've had some great fullbacks up here in North Queensland, Matt Bowen, but I think this guy's right in that class. He is just something else to watch. And I've been looking at Chad Townsend, guys. They brought him to the club here to show some direction, show some leadership. And he's been superb in the first 20 minutes, just getting this Cowboys team around. But the hammer, how good is that to watch?
Todd Payton showed his hand at the back end of 2021 when this man played the fullback role for the last 3 games of the season, having played most of the season in the centres when he wasn't injured. Had a couple of stints on the sideline, had a syndesmosis tightrope surgery early in 2021. Then he missed 4 weeks as well with an emergency appendectomy the back half of the season. If you cast your mind, well, he had appendicitis, Mick.
Good. That works a little easier for me at 9:20.
Here in Sydney, of course. Yes, the emergency appendectomy.
Yeah.
From right in front, Holmes. No stomach pains for him, nor the coach at this stage. They're back level at 6 apiece in Mackay. The Broncos against the Cowboys in the nightcap on this pre-season Super Saturday. A little miscue there by Townsend, but he got back to keep it alive and give it back to the man of the moment who said, hey, there's some space in behind them, with Cobbo shading this right-hand side of the field. Well, went back the other way. Well, he was out of position. Tabuai for Doe realised that. He laid on a beauty. The Walters brothers watching on.
Looking forward to seeing Ezra Mann come into the action, just sitting there alongside the Walters brothers. young superstar coming through the grades. Can he do it at the top level? He was sharp last week with some chances against the Gold Coast.
He was very at home, wasn't he? And has been over the past 12 months as well. Ezra, man, what a ride he is on. It's moving up the charts, his career with a bullet. See him again tonight at some stage. Certainly an option, the way things are panning out in the halves potentially. Kevy Walters and the Broncos, Ezra Mann.
You got to love the two number 13s here tonight. Reuben Cotter and Kobe Hetherington, just both tearaways, just rip in, give you everything they've got. They're working hard, the two locked forwards.
Good kick here as Cobbo going back from the in-goal area, bring it out to just the 10. And the Cowboys suddenly in the ascendancy as Pereira. Well, the scoreline might be 6 apiece. The Cowboys, the back of that try from Tabuai Fidow. Great field position here to have the Broncos under pressure. And Staggs to play it just outside the 20. First forward back there for a carry. No surprise is the workaholic in Payne Haas. They'll play it here for Pakes. You've got Hetherington also. Good carry there. Beat the first line in a tackle from Gilbert. And now it's Gamble. It's kicked from his own side of halfway. It's it away from Tabuai Fidow. This one will sit down. Oh no, in fact, it will just trickle dead. It looked to be a good kick from Tyson Gamble, but the poise and the patience of Tabuai Fidow rewarded. Hands it off to Murray Taulagi, who will bring it back out here for the Cowboys to get going.
Yeah, the one thing Hetherington does well is his late footwork. He carries the ball extremely hard, but he's got really nice late footwork, which we can see. They've played the ball. Here we go. The Cowboys away.
Good offload here. Lukey galloping across the halfway line, keeps it alive. Goes back to Tabuai Fidow. And just like that, they're on the attack here, 35 metres out. Robson. He'll come to Townsend. Showing it, bypasses Potter. They keep it going. Good hands here on the pickup from Taulagi. Cuts back to the inside. There's some space there. Pakes closed the door on him with Ricky as well. But they're inside the 20 and 4 tackles up their sleeve. Through the hands it goes to Townsend. Now Felt. Back on the inside for Peter Hiku. Trying to spin an offload, but he was wrapped up there by Capewell. The Broncos stretched on their own line. Townsend takes them on. Cobbo up there in the front line. Townsend looking for a little shovel pass. Hangs onto it. He was wrapped up there by Hetherington. Here's Dearden. Short ball goes to Gilbert on this left-hand side. He'll play it here only a metre out. Robson to the edge. Dearden, short ball. Holmes back on the angle. Against the grain, and the Cowboys are in double quick time for number 2. A lovely short ball after the raid down the right-hand side to begin the set from Highland Lukey, and finished off by Valentine Holmes.
Yeah, this will look really nice. Dearden doubling up on plays. Smart vision from Tom Dearden, because Chad Townsend on the previous play was tackled. He swung round, he linked up there with his middle forwards coming through the middle, and then down the short side going nice and square. Question marks over the pass, but it was a beautiful line from Valentine Holmes coming outside in. He looks tremendously fit, Valentine. And that was beautiful execution there from Tom Dearden.
And it's great to see him get some confidence too, Mick. I think he's got all the tools to be a really good centre. Val Holmes, he's big, he's strong. We know how hard he is to handle when he's got ball in the hand. So I think if he's to make a real fist of playing centres, it's going to be up to him and his attitude. And it's great to see him looking happy and fit. And I think he's going to be in for a big season.
Tatey, what makes a great centre? What's important for him to really nail it down and find some great form early in the season?
Well, I think he's got to work on his defence. Obviously, not used to defensively being up in the front line, Mick. I think if he gets that part of his game right, we know, as I said, we know what he can do with the ball in hand. So he's got all the attributes to be a really good centre in a competition where there isn't too many strike centres. So I think it's a really wonderful opportunity for Val, but defensively, that's his biggest priority starting the competition off.
Well, he makes no mistake again with the conversion. Good start for Valentine Holmes as a left centre on a permanent basis.
These were the two plays, Warren, where Townsend was tackled and Dearden really stepped up. Really nice short ball there, and then swinging down, doubling up on his play. Something that we saw, you know, the great Jonathan Thurston do a lot with the Cowboys, where he'd use his lead runners. He's offered, he'd link with guys like Gavin Cooper, you know, out on nets, and he'd swing down a short side. That was a nice play from Dearden.
Former star from the Palm Beach Currumbin production line, the Australian schoolboy, of course, and then got the chance Tom Dearden with the Broncos. 22 appearances with them over 3 seasons as a Bronco, of course, most of them as a teenager, and maybe just now as a 20-year-old, having made that mid-season switch last year. Found his feet with the Cowboys under the system that Todd Payten would like to use, and that was a lovely ball for the try for Holmes. They're back here within 10 of the halfway line. They jump out of dummy half through Robson, who likes to take on the markers, especially from close range. 6 again here for the Broncos, jumping up inside the 10. Now there's a whistle, though. Was there a mistake in the play? The ball.
You don't see that one often. And that was a big 6 to go call too. Late in the tackle count, the Cowboys had really wrestled back momentum after such a strong start, particularly up front from Payne Haas and Kobe Hetherington through the middle, along with Pat Carrigan. They were very good early. And the Cowboys have wrestled it back. Broncos now with a good opportunity through Haas.
A little motion with the foot there from Reece Robson on that roll ball call by the referee. I guess he figured there wasn't enough, though, of an effort with the foot. As the Broncos have it here, 30 out. Ryan James is out there now in that fresh white jersey. They put it down, though. Ricky running a line, couldn't hang on to it.
That's what made the hands of Valentine Holmes on that previous try so impressive. In these conditions, the ball is so slippery. And Gamble digging right into the line there for Ricky under pressure. That was great contact from young Tom Dearden underneath. And over the top, Gilbert. It's a really high-risk play, you know, in these conditions. The half going deep into the line, putting an edge-back rower under pressure. And that's another turnover from Brisbane.
Chance wasted right there. You can lock in a blockbuster season of footy with the Cowboys membership. North Queensland fans, from seats in the heart of the action to non-ticketed and away game options. There's members for loyal fans near and far. Join today at cowboys.com.au. Jump in the saddle for a Cowboy this season. So far, pre-season, admittedly, things are on the up.
They are. They're answering all the questions at the moment defensively, and that's where the improvement needs to come dramatically for them. They've been good early.
Win last week, albeit a different team almost entirely. As soon as you give them a rap, Mick, there you go. There's the commentator's curse. It still works no matter the date, no matter the year.
We just keep rolling them out, Warren.
Is infallible.
We just keep doing it. Yeah, only a try off a Tyson Gamble kick for Jordan Ricky. Other than that, in terms of their shape that the Broncos have thrown at them, they've defended it well, but an error in really good field position won't please Todd Payten. And they relieve all the pressure that they were starting to build again. That's 2 errors now from the Cowboys in back-to-back sets after working so hard to get momentum back.
Broncos to work it away from their own end. Bates makes it dummy half as they play the ball from Oates. Here's Ryan James. He's meant to be a Raider for longer than the 1 year he had with them. Links up with the Broncos in 2022. Now Haas out the back, goes through the hands of Walters. Cobbo showing it. Townsend staying with him. Good effort by the halfback there for the Cowboys to make the tackle.
He's grimaced. He's in pain there, Cobbo.
Issue there with the ankle. He clutched it immediately, having played the ball. Walters, he's still hobbling Selwyn Cobbo in the backfield. Campbell for the moment. Kick across to it, a chance out wide for Staggs. They all flew. Holmes missed it. Ended up there in the hands of Talangi. And he'll have it here for the Cowboys to work it away from their own 20.
Yeah, what a great battle it is. That was a nice kick again from Gamble, right on the spot, contested from the Broncos. And again, it's Katoni Staggs and Valentine Holmes coming together. Look at this, Holmes up. Staggs coming charging into the back. Two superstars going at it early in the season.
Yeah, swing for both of them on that attempt. Staggs not really attempting to catch the ball. He was looking at making a bump, if anything. At Holmes caught it, it would have been a penalty for a mid-air tackle as Hess quick play the ball here. In fact, he gets up to go again over the top of Corey Pakes initially, and eventually tackled there. Vernon Palacia, the kick here. Cobbo going backwards. Oates calls him off. Makes a good catch, the left winger. The player just inside his own 20. Cobbo gets to dummy half. He was shaken off that little twist or the knock to the ankle at the other end of the field for the moment. Here he is, taking a carry, testing it out straight away.
Terrific. He has been terrific already, carrying the ball upwards of 70 metres. He's been powerful. Looked really confident under the high ball.
Brinko Lee, a previous run there. Seen too much action in this opening half as Haas, by contrast, has seen a stack of it. And no surprise, he's played the entire 40 minutes. The kick from Walters. He was hit as he just got it away. The referee looked to his sideline official and said, play on for the moment. They were happy with the contact there on Walters. There was a wrapping motion from the Cowboys defender. He was given the green light. Here's Hiku. And his team, another 6 tackles here, back end of this first half. Well, the pass, though, from dummy half was forward.
Well, that's twice now for the Cowboys where they've been given a 6 to go call and come up with errors the next play. That time a forward pass, yeah, he's frustrated, Peyton, and rightly so. Forward there from Reece Robson out of dummy half. Holmes just fractionally overrunning the footy. They hurt, those ones.
He just got there too quickly, didn't he? He was too keen, Valentine Holmes, to go a little in and away at the Broncos' defence and mistimed it. And Robson's pass was forward as a result. Staggs coming up, running straight at Valentine Holmes. It came together heavily there. It was a good run and an equally good tackle by Val Holmes.
It is some battle. It is some battle out in the centres tonight. Holmes and Staggs.
Palacia at the line. It goes to Walters. Flat ball there for Capewell, who spins. Taken down, 20 out from the Cowboys line. Pakes waiting. Slow play the ball in the end. Capewell was hoping for a whistle. They don't get one. Here's Palacia. Just outside the 10. Quick play the ball this time, though. Walters, as a result, goes to the line. The pass hits the deck. Picked up by Kyle Felt. Walters, and he put the ball on the deck himself, is there to make the tackle on Kyle Felt. And the Broncos let the Cowboys out the easy way once again.
They just had to land the pass, just had to execute that one. Billy Walters had too many options and unable to land the pass, and Kyle Felt swooped on it and was into the backfield. And the Broncos miss a huge opportunity there. There was a try to be had there for the Broncos. He just had to land the pass, Walters.
Robson to Townsend on this right-hand side. Another chance before the break. Oh, putting a kick in Peter Hiku. A tackle up their sleeve there. It came off a Bronco. Don't know that it was played at. And you would think this would be a Broncos ball.
Yeah,
and again, as Walters puts the ball on the deck. Pretty much numbered up there. Cowboys done a nice job on that right-hand side. There is going to be a challenge here.
Cowboys captain's challenge, on-field ruling not played up by Broncos in the touch.
He did a really good job, just going back to that,
Cowboys.
Walters, of squaring up with Capewell isolating Chad Townsend. He just needed to play short. He was a chance to score. Yeah, that's a fair call. I would say that's a good challenge. Peter Hiku trying to dribble the ball through on the 4th tackle. Brinko Lee
fails to change his gait. The ball is not played at by the Broncos. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Matty, you didn't come across.
The Cowboys roll the dice in the first half. The Broncos will get the ball here. Not played
Not
at
played
by
out,
the
guys.
ruling.
Unsuccessful. Broncos play the ball. Do you want it middle? Good.
They'll bring it back to the middle of the field, as most teams do. Yep. Chance to work something with 3.5 minutes remaining, or just a tick under in this first half. 2 tries to 1. The first 2 of them coming from kicks, 1 apiece. Tyson Gamble laying on a nice try for Jordan Ricky to score. That was 6-0 to the Broncos. Cowboys hit back. Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, a heads-up piece of play. He just took them on himself with a grubber in behind, got the bounce. It was 6 apiece, and then Tom Dearden ball for Valentine Holmes to give the Cowboys the lead. Here's Walters. Takes in the line, rucked up there by Lukey and also Townsend. Down the short side, Capewell's ball to Brinko Lee. Premiership winner 2 seasons ago with the Melbourne Storm. Had an unlucky 2021, full of injury. Now Haas. Stopped there by Robson. Down the legs. Last play here for the Broncos. Pakes will come to Gamble. To the air this time, a chance out wide for Pereira. He went up, didn't get near it. Tapped backwards there by Ryan James. Comes back to Pakes. He was set upon straight away, and a good tackle getting back there. Jordan McLean made the stop, and he wrapped up the number 9 very quickly.
Well, he's having a spell, big Jordan McLean in the background, and all of a sudden the ball got thrown back midfield, and there he was, the big fella. Able to make the tackle on Corey Pakes, and on the last tackle, it was a cheap turnover, really, as Tabuai-Fidow out of dummy half. Now, Payne Haas was 130 metres in the opening half. Phenomenal.
Just picking up from where he always leaves off. Phenomenal work rate once again. And the Giant, who will be a Bronco at the end of 2024 as things stand. As the Cowboys play it here, 90 seconds remaining in this first half. A chance for an attacking kick here from around about the 40 as McLean plays it quickly. Dearden at the line though, through the hands. The grubber on the deck goes to Cobbo, up against the sideline. They'll take him into touch. Did he get it away before he went into touch? If the Cowboys can stop the clock here, there'll be a chance with a scrum feed and a full set from around about 25 metres out.
He backed himself there, Selwyn Cobbo, down a very, very narrow short side. Just got on the outside of Tuolangi, who just latched on with the fingernail around the boot. And then Holmes burrows in low. Here comes Gilbert, and they just drag him over the sideline. Does he get it away? Jeez,
it was tight.
Very tight. But nonetheless, the Cowboys here, an opportunity to extend their lead right on half-time.
They're inside the 20. Playing here through Cohen Hess. Numbers to the left-hand side. Dearden was there. Got away from the advancing Tyson Gamble. Still going Tom Dearden. Only a metre out. What strength he showed, the 20-year-old. They'll get a penalty as the Broncos will have 12 men for the opening 10 minutes of the second half, with Payne Haas giving away a professional foul on his own line.
Luckily, it's a trial and he can be substituted, so it will be 13 aside.
They can get one on anyway. What do you want to do?
But Haas, he goes to the sin bin. We saw Bryce Cartwright go earlier in the day for the Parramatta side. We've seen a couple over the last 2 weeks. That was a tremendous, tenacious run from Tom Dearden close to the line.
The Cowboys, with time up now in the first half, will take the chance to make this an 8-point game. And Valentine Holmes, from pretty much beside the uprights, should have no issue with it. Not quite a home game for the Cowboys tonight, but we're still in North Queensland as we are, and they've done very nicely so far in this opening 40 minutes. A win last week against the Rabbitohs, 2 understrength teams compared to the NRL squads they'll field throughout 2022. And the kick is good at the break. The Cowboys lead the Broncos here in Mackay, 14 points to 6. Tabuai-Fidow, a real star, Mick, and what an excitement machine he has been since his debut back in 2020 for the Cowboys.
Yeah, probably the conditions haven't allowed him to be as electric as we know he can be. He's had a couple of touches that have been nice, but none better than this. This was brilliant. There's very few players in the competition that can turn half chances into points like that. That was majestical from the young fella. That was outstanding. Been a really good battle on the grandstand side of the field. Tony Staggs and Jordan Pereira up against Valentine Holmes, who's really holding his gloves up in his first outing as centre in a really tough battle against Tony Staggs. No harder man in the competition to mark one-on-one. Selwyn Cobbo, been terrific. Been very impressed with Selwyn Cobbo. He's got through plenty of work. The conditions haven't allowed us to really see the brilliance of both Tabuai-Fidow, although he gave us that brilliant try. But Cobbo has got through a mountain of work, carrying the ball hard out of his hand. He's a big body. It's been a great contest in the opening 40 minutes, was.
He and Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, two young tearaway fullbacks. Ankle issue at one stage there for Selwyn Cobbo, but he shook that off with the test in the sheds at halftime as well, which he passed with flying colours. And then, well, the hammer, he grabbed it, took the scruff.
He's so
the scruff of the neck, didn't he, with that little grubber in behind them for his own try. That came in the 21st minute to put the Cowboys on the board, and just a little ad-lib piece of play, seized the moment. And they've gone on with the job from that point on. We'll see if they can continue on to make it 2 wins from 2 starts in the pre-season. The Broncos, 26-all draw last week against the Titans. If he gets a chance again in the second half, Tabuai-Fidow, then we know exactly what he can do. Now an Origin player for the Maroons after getting a chance last year's series against New South Wales. Valentine Holmes gets us back underway for the second half. The Broncos to work it away from the southern end of BB Prince Stadium, and Ryan James will play it here just inside the Broncos 20. Rather heavy surface after all the rain we had earlier in the afternoon and evening. Jake Turpin is out there to begin this second half. Corey Pates was the dummy half the first 40 minutes. The change made, though, by Heavy Walters. Turpin out there to begin this second 40 in jumper 16. 4 tackles gone this opening set. James takes him across the halfway line. Good metres for the Broncos. It's the hard way from their own end. Various stages of that first half. The kick from Gamble. Still out there on that right edge to begin this second half, down to Tulungi, and he will play it here for the Cowboys at their 20.
Really nice start from the Brisbane Broncos, particularly carrying the football, and physically we saw them in the opening stages of the game really dominate the Cowboys through the middle. A really strong run in that previous set from Palacia. Got them downfield. He'll be pleased with the start to the second half. Will be Kevy Walters, as we see Kyle Feld here clutching at a knee.
Seemed to be the case, maybe the left knee. Very promptly on it as he gets back to his feet. Todd Payton watching on with his heart in his mouth. Suddenly, let's watch it again. Oh, the weight there, yes, on the right knee, in fact.
They can't afford to lose Kyle Feld. He's a wonderful try scorer. 12 last year for the Cowboys, and really powerful out of the backfield, and a great target for Townsend and Tom Dearden with their kicking game, particularly close to the try line.
There was a former teammate in Corey Jensen who was involved in the tackle. There's a penalty to the Cowboys. As Townsend finds the line. We'll go to Brent Tate in a moment for his thoughts. What he saw in this first half, still flexing that right knee as Kyle Felt looks to be okay to stay on for the moment as McLean will play it inside the 40. Reece Robson playing a dummy half. 3rd season with the Cowboys, playing the full-time hooker, adding Jake Granville onto the bench for most of last season on that left-hand side. Here is Drinkwater now out there. See what Drinkwater can offer after Dearden was very impressive in that opening 40. Drinkwater is left. Townsend remains on this right-hand side. They bring it back midfield, 10 metres out from the Broncos line. Play it there through Dunn. Townsend turns Lukey underneath. One long, impressive run towards the back end of that first half. Robson takes him on from dummy half. He loves to do it. Almost can't help himself at times. This time he stopped only a metre or so out from the line. The Broncos hang on. You just know if he gets a chance, he's diving from dummy half, Mick.
Yeah, he loves an opportunity close to the line. He's a powerful ball runner. Reece Robson with a chance to get down that short side. Couldn't resist, and not a bad spot to turn the ball over. The Broncos now under pressure. That's tackle 2, and they're only just outside the 10-metre line. Great challenge for Jake Turpin. We've seen him as a mainstay in the Broncos number 9 jersey for quite a period of time, and young Pake's performance last week got him the opportunity to start, and here he is out of dummy half. He doesn't look comfortable to me. I've been watching him closely since he's come out after half-time. He looks to be carrying a leg injury.
See how he fares here. He gets the dummy half now. Feeds it off to Gamble, who's under pressure. Hess doesn't get there in time. Tabuai Fidel will let it bounce. He gets a very friendly one. Sits up for him, and he'll bring it back here to play at about 15 out from the Cowboys line. Well, the Cowboys work it away. Down to you, Brent Tate. We saw Tom Dearden, who was so good for them in the first half. Now Scott Drinkwater gets his chance here beyond half-time.
Yeah, will be interesting to see what he does. And Scott Drinkwater, we know Dearden in the first half defensively was great, and I think that's Scott Drinkwater's biggest thing he needs to address with his game is getting his defence right. Boys, I'm just looking down at the bench. I can't see Payne Haas, so I think he might have shouted up and his night might be done. So what a performance from him for the first 40 minutes. And I thought Pat Harrigan was excellent also. So some great signs for Brisbane's front rowers.
Good kick here, has Oates under pressure. Felt getting down there will stop him in the in-goal area. And the Cowboys have got themselves a goal line dropout.
Yeah, really nice play. At the moment, both sides just been a little bit out of sorts to start the second half, and the experience of Townsend just driving it through the wet. Ball skidding into the in goal, and Oates there to clean it up, and great experience and commitment there from Kyle Felt, who we know has just picked up a knee injury. He's a great competitor, Felt. Chases down, gets his side a repeat set of 6.
Terrific kick by Chad Townsend to get them the 6 tackles. I think it's fair to say that it was a polarising decision by the Cowboys to sign Chad Townsend at 31 years of age for a 3-year deal, but so far tonight they couldn't have steered them around any better than he has. 20 away the Cowboys. Robson waits at dummy half. Holmes with the play of the ball. McLean spinning. Isn't a great pass to him, but up against Turpin and also Palacia. James helps out. They take him down just inside the Broncos 10. Back to the left-hand side. Drinkwater at the line. Good ball. Holmes. Good catch and pass as well. Talangi on the end of it. The Cowboys extend their lead. Terrific hands on a greasy, wet night here in Mackay. Drinkwater to Holmes and Talangi on the end of the chain.
Yeah, they're two most creative players from last season linking up. Great vision from Drinkwater, just getting on the outside of his opposite defender and getting the interest of that extra defender on the outside, which then creates the space. You can see it there. The Broncos under pressure, having to come in from the sheer speed in which Drinkwater takes the line on. And great skill. Valentine Holmes under pressure. Pereira jamming in. Great catch and pass in the wet conditions. And Tuolangi gets over for the first try of the second half for the Cowboys. And that's nice. Holmes, Drinkwater linking up. They look sharp, the Cowboys.
It all began, of course, with the kick from Chad Townsend to force the goal line dropout, and they make the most of the opportunity. 18-6. The kick to come from out wide for Valentine Holmes, although there he is. Planned over the kicking duties.
Fascinating, won't it, to see what Todd Payton, the coach, does of the Cowboys for round one. Does he go with this man, Drinkwater, who we know is extremely creative? Or does he go with Did, who looked terrific in the first half, combining with Chad Townsend? Did a great job down the left-hand side of the field. Defensively tough. Getting his body in underneath a number of times on the opposing back rower. Carrying the ball strong. Two completely different players. Completely different players. It'd be fascinating to see who he partners with Townsend.
This man played the first 2 games of the season last year at fullback and then played the straight remainder games, 22 of them at 5'8". Who is the odd man out for Todd Payton to begin the season? Drinkwater certainly brings his kicking to the table, that's for sure, as far as that equation is concerned. 20 points to 6, a lovely conversion from out wide in difficult conditions tonight. That was a great kick once again by Chad Townsend.
Yeah, it's exactly why they've invested in Chad Townsend. His game management is first class. It was a lovely kick. Got his side a repeat set of 6 on the back of a great chase from Kyle Felton on the back of it. A fresh drink water flying out of the blocks off first receiver. Linked up with Holmes. It was a nice play from the Cowboys. The Broncos, though, this scoreline starting to get away from them.
Similar scenario to what it was last week against the Gold Coast Titans before they finished with 3 late tries to get out of that one with a 26-all scoreline. A reminder that NRL 360 returns on Monday night, March the 7th. With new host Graythan Astor jumping into the frying pan alongside Paul Kent. Do you reckon Braith knows what he's in for? It's going to be something.
I think he thinks he knows what he's in for.
When it's all happening and the bullets are flying around the table, Jimmy Hooper, Buzz Rothfield, Paul Kent. Braith might be looking for a helmet. Here is Tabuai Fido. Just inside the 40. As Holmes waits at dummy half. Comes back, Townsend with the kick. Put Cobbo under pressure, another good catch there. He's certainly been secure under the high ball. And that's a nice run back midfield to take them away from a sideline situation early in the tackle count. Pereira now looks up, saw plenty of blue jumpers in front of him. Cohen Hess, he can make the lights disappear. He's that big.
He's just not... he's just not drifting away from the game plan at all, is he, Chad Townsend? As we see Reece Robson come to the sideline, looks to be stretching out a lower leg complaint. He just hasn't deviated at all, Chad. Just continues to kick into that left corner, frustrating Selwyn Cobbo, giving him no opportunity to attack, and that's what the Cowboys have been lacking in recent years.
One more play here in this set. Capewell will play it. Goes back to Gamble. Standing underneath it. Chance here for Talangi to make the catch. It's all about taking them on down the sideline there, but Pereira was there with some help from David Mead, who's a fresh man on the field for the Broncos now. That nice, pristine white jersey. Holmes to play it at their 20. Cowboys by 14. A remarkable Saturday's action so far.
Yep.
Big win by the Eels against the Panthers. The Dragons breaking a Charity Shield drought out of Mudgee. First win for 10 long years. The Charity Shield against the Rabbitohs.
Looked spectacular, Mudgee, didn't it?
It was great. No rain.
No.
Fancy being somewhere where there's no rain. It's hard to believe. Down the east coast of Australia at the moment. Townsend again from outside the 40. Kick goes down to Cobbo. He'll bring it back. He's seen so much action, and we'll link up here with Pereira. Took a chance there on a slippery night. Wheel was good. Hanging on to it. David Mead.
Yeah, David Mead into the contest now for the Broncos. Looks like Selwyn Cobbo may shuffle out into that right centre position. Katoni Staggs' night is done. The Ferrari's back in the shed for Kevy Walters, taking no more risks. Payne Haas, we understand, has had a shower.
Tap on here. They like that moment back again.
The Broncos just starting to lose their way. It's a great opportunity for some of these young Broncos that are trying to get themselves into Kevin Walters' 17 for a fortnight's time in their first game against South Sydney. Great chance to stand up and show some resolve and try and get some fight back against one of their arch rivals, the Cowboys.
Granville out of dummy half, and a mistake here in the play the ball. It was. The referee say, warning 3 times. Mitch Dunn is the man who correctly played the ball. So the Broncos survived there after that freebie they gave the Cowboys with a tip on the other side of the field. I guess for the Broncos, they'll be hoping quite obviously that Adam Reynolds is fit and ready to go for round 1, but there are question marks about the Mackay signing, whether he'll be right for round 1 with the hamstring problem that he has.
Yeah, well, you just look at the difference that Chad Townsend's made in terms of his kicking game and his ability just to steer the side around and control the contest. That's what Adam Reynolds does as well as any half in the competition. And boy, after watching the trial period for Brisbane, do they need Adam Reynolds desperately for round one, particularly against South in the opening game?
Walters grubbering in behind them. He puts Tabuai-Fidow under pressure, but one of the drier parts of the pitch is this northwestern corner, and Tabuai-Fidow gets the studs in quickly enough. As Walters comes racing out, trying to put a shot there on Kyle Felt. Bumped to play the ball. Might have been 6 again called. The referee says play on. 27 minutes remaining here. Of course, we'll wrap it up beyond full time with Jess and the boys. It's been a big Super Saturday. And of course, that postponed clash between the Warriors and the Titans now pushed back to Monday night. So 3 games still remaining beyond tonight in the second week of the pre-season. Granville from dummy half. Townsend from only just outside the 20. Lovely strike, though. Beautiful torpedo. Cobbo wanted nothing to do with it. It'll be Oates to bring it back, and that was a pretty impressive kick. And Chad Townsend once again under pressure to limit the Broncos to their own 40-metre line, having kicked it from their own 20 of the Cowboys end. Pereira. He plays it here. Mistake here again. A roll ball is the call this time against Jordan Pereira.
Haven't seen this rule come out for a while, as we see. There he is, the Rolls Royce, Adams Reynolds. Jermaine Osako, there's been plenty of talk about his future over the last week. 25 minutes remaining in this game. Where will we see him come into the action? At the moment, it doesn't look like he's in Kevin Walters' plan for the opening round of the competition. Granville out of dummy half now. He finds Gilbert.
They're 25 metres out. 14-point buffer up their sleeve. Here is Reuben Cotter. Granville looking to the left-hand side. Goes to Townsend. First receiver. Oh, a short ball there. Difficult one with Jordan Ricky up in the face there of Mitchell Dunn, who puts it down. And Todd Payton a little bit animated off the back of that.
Yeah, it must be frustrating for coaches, you know, when they can see the opportunity that they're trying to create, and then just under fatigue, a simple error like that in such great field position gets them pacing Warren around the coaches' boxes. In some of these country areas, the coaches' boxes aren't that big. Dean Young getting a little uncomfortable with just no personal space around the coach as he paces around the paces around the coach's box.
Well, it was a very short honeymoon, quite obviously, for Todd Payton, wasn't it, in 2021?
Oh, yeah.
The honeymoon lasted about 4 weeks. And given the way they finished last season as well, the honeymoon is definitely over, and he knows, while it's still early days in his NRL coaching career, it could come and go in a heartbeat, as it has done for plenty of coaches, rookie coaches, in recent seasons. Down the short side, Gamble with players on his outside. Ricky is one of them. It was a long time ago that he scored off a Tyson Gamble grubber back in the 3rd minute. Here is Gamble. He puts it in the air, out towards Kyle Felt. They want nothing to do with it. Oates allowed to make the catch, staying alive. Dumps it out the back to Walters. He swings it on. They'll go further afield through TC Rabati. Now back to Gamble. A second kick from the same man on the same play. You don't often see that. But he supplied another one straight to Petahiku, who dummies. He takes a chance to link up with Valentine Holmes. Sideline to sideline the ball goes, and it comes back from around about the point where Gamble kicked it in the first place.
Yeah, and again, Todd Payton will be extremely pleased with his side's desperation defensively tonight. It has only been that kick from Tyson Gamble for the Jordan Ricky try in the opening moments of the game, where they've really looked troubled. But on the last play there, Corey Oates coming down with the football, plenty of second phase. The ball went from side to side, and the Cowboys defenders just kept turning up. And that's the main area that they wanted improvement heading into this season. They've been good in that area so far. 23 minutes remaining in the clash. They'll want to finish it off.
There's this lightweight middle forward in Reuben Cotter. Good run there as the kick goes up from Drinkwater. Awkward one here for Pereira, looking up into the lights. Just a couple of raindrops coming down again suddenly in Mackay. Good catch by the right winger. Met his wife in Mackay, Jordan Pereira, when he was making his way towards the Dragons eventually to break into the NRL. He was working in a cafe while playing for the Mackay Cutters. He was also stacking pallets for Campbell's Cash and Carry. He's made plenty of cash on those carries from his own end in his time in the NRL. Bad pun that, but it's played on a Saturday night.
Anything goes at this time of night, Warren.
Here's David Mead. Turpin looks out of dummy half. He had no one with him and on his own almost created something there for the Broncos. Goes back to Gamble under pressure there. Wrapping tackle from McLean. It'll sit down here. Kyle Fielder throws a long ball, 25-metre pass inside his own 20 on a wet old greasy night. He's a confident type. He knows he's got a talented youngster in the fullback role, and Gamble might have been hurt by that contact as he got the kick away.
He's been one of their best tonight, Tyson Gamble, particularly down that right-hand side. His combination early in the game with Jordan Ricky and Tony Staggs looked dangerous. And again, getting himself involved on that last tackle. You could just see on that previous set of 6, it's the immaturity of Brisbane at the moment and where they're at as a footy side. Turpin out of dummy half. It was good ruck recognition. They had their markers scattered. There was a chance to attack as we see Granville out of dummy half.
He's got Gilbert going with him, looking for one more. They dropped off the tackle, though, and there was a chance to put the foot down once again, but Gilbert was intent on finding a ball runner. Drinkwater now. Just chip one in behind them. Nobody wants to make a play at it, so Murray Talangi gets a bounce. He says, thank you, Broncos. If you're going to gift me one like that, I'll plant it down for number 2. He has his second try. It's hard to believe no Brisbane player wanted to play at that ball. Just chipped in behind by Drinkwater. He found the open space, and it's 24 points to 6.
Yeah, just talking about the immaturity in the previous set from the Broncos in terms of no one willing to play on every play. Turpin was out of dummy half, and no one was there pushing for him. This time, again, no communication on the last tackle. Drinkwater injecting himself in the second half. Again, his kicking game troubling them, the Broncos, and just no talk there. No talk whatsoever between the outside backs of the Broncos. Ball allowed to bounce, and Tuolangi, you won't get an easier one than that. There he is, Drinkwater down the short side. No talk there from Cobbo. Jordan Pereira not in position, and the ball sits up perfectly for Murray Tuolangi, who's having quite the night out. And the Cowboys extend their lead now, 24 points to 6.
Good signs as well for the Cowboys. Every time something happens, there's a bunch of them there. They're all there to celebrate. Murray Talangi there, all pushing forward on that particular play through the middle, and there to greet him as he planted the ball down. And if they come up with a big hit and force a mistake, we've seen that throughout the night as well. It's obviously a very happy camp heading into 2022.
And it has to be. And don't forget Jason Taumalolo to come back into the side as well is a huge bonus for them heading towards the start of the season as Holmes, he'll add the extras. And 26 unanswered points now for the North Queensland Cowboys. There's been a lot to like, hasn't there? Holmes out at left centre. He's been terrific tonight. There's the handshake. That is impressive.
Somebody known for his handshakes throughout his NRL career, Brent Tate. You must be impressed what you've seen so far tonight, Tatey.
I definitely wasn't known for my handshakes, boys. Wasn't cool at all. But look, it has been a great performance. I think, you know, Todd Payten probably came here tonight wanting a really strong performance, get some confidence going into round 1. And on the other hand, for Kevy, I think there's probably more question marks over this performance tonight. Obviously, a lot of conjecture around that halves position, hooker. And I think he probably goes away scratching his head a little bit more tonight than having some clear answers.
Yeah, completely agree, Brent. It's been a disappointing night. It was a strong and powerful start from Brisbane. I thought Carrigan and Haas and Hetherington were terrific early. Some nice kicks, particularly from Tyson Gamble. And once momentum swung, they just haven't been able to show a lot of resolve, to be honest, Brisbane.
It's almost the exact same scoreline last week, 26-8 last week against the Titans with 13 to go before the Broncos scored 3 tries in the 67th minute onwards. We'll see what they put on tonight. Might be a different task though against this Cowboys team. Certainly up for the effort tonight. They came in with a minimal squad, a lot of numbers on their bench, so the starters are going to play a lot of minutes including Chad Townsend tonight, quite obviously. Here is Dearden, who is back out there. It does look for the moment, though. Townsend is getting a breather with Dearden back on deck. So he's combining with Drinkwater, who will play it here. Granville from dummy half comes back to Dearden. Turns it underneath. Tanoa Brown is back out there. His second stint. And he started the game with plenty of carries. One more play right here. Granville feigns short side. Grubbers to the open side. Off the legs, and good work by the Broncos to come up with possession here. It was bouncing around, and it was the former Cowboy, Corey Jensen, who came up with possession.
I think Todd Payton will be extremely pleased with what he's seen, particularly tonight from Chad Townsend. He's come there with, as you said, a lot of pressure on him to turn around what was a really difficult year last year. That man there, Kevin Walters, I don't think he'll be too pleased with where his side's at the moment.
See Ezra Mann get a chance here, the back end of the game, after what he did last week, especially in those last 15 minutes or so against the Titans. Named in the side tonight, no sign of him as yet. In fact, he's out there now on that right edge. So.
He's seen enough of Gamble and Billy Walters to know what they can do over the last fortnight. Here's Walters now taking the line on, but it's time to see Mann. Get him into the game. Osako's into the contest for Brisbane as well.
Turpin will find Mann, who skips towards the line. Had a lot of spark last week against the Gold Coast as he plays it here. Turpin goes to that short side where they will tip it on. Sarko out there also at the back end of the game. It comes back to Mann, who places a kick across the field. They'll let them make the catch. Brinko Lee, no thought of contesting the ball there. That was curious because it looked to be a pretty good kick that was well weighted by Mann, but in the end they were happy to let the Cowboys.
It was a terrific kick from Ezra Mann. Right on the spot, isolated the Cowboys defender, and it was a chance for Brinko Lee to get up above and make it a contest. That was strange.
No, it's Phil. Play it here. Knocked to the knee earlier in their second half. No dramas, though. Quickly play on. Ruben Cotter will play it. End of the set of 6. Granville looking for an option. It's Dearden to kick. Top of his own 30. Not the biggest boot in the league. Not a bad one there, though. He'll find the line and make the Broncos work it away from a set play situation. Just on 15 minutes remaining, and Dearden up there barking. That's also a good sign for the 20-year-old.
Really good signs, and he's looked a lot more comfortable. There was a lot of pressure on him last year. The side was playing poorly. And they've come out tonight. They've got themselves right defensively, as we see. It's a real big collision here. He's in trouble. Is that Hylam Lukey? That's
no. Jeremiah Nanai.
Nanai.
Out there at the back end of the game.
Yeah, just a head clash here with Corey Oates right on the cheekbone. And that was a heavy collision. Good playing Nanai. Did some really nice things last year.
To start the game, but came off the bench with Tom Gilbert injected into the starting team. So it was a very quick appearance. He made his debut at the back end of 2021. The game over for Nanai. He'll go up with less than 15 minutes remaining. He won't reappear as they go to that right-hand side. Here is Osako. Into Cowboys territory. Mead from dummy half. Comes to Palacia. Towards Tanoa Brown and also Cotter. Granville down there around the legs also. Turpin. Second last play in this set finds Hetherington. Walters on the charge. Sarko met there, jamming in. Good work by Kyle Felt, getting off his wing, shutting down the play very quickly. Here's Walters. Lee kicking back awkwardly there. Tough one to tackle on the ground for Tabby Wai-Fado.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
His work has been first rate throughout the night.
Yeah, really nice kick back on the inside there from Brinko Lee. Plenty of Broncos attackers coming through, and he was desperate. He was courageous. Tabby Wai-Fado got low in the wet conditions, skidded across, cleaned up the ball, saved what could have been a try opportunity for the Broncos. As we see Granville out of dummy half. Heavy collision, wasn't it? Kyle Felt on Jermaine Asako. Asako a little worse for wear.
Grant. Back for Drinkwater from inside the 40. Difficult one here for Pereira up against the sideline. No, he must have had a foot on the line. Terrific kick from just inside the red stripe of the 40-metre line. You can hear the referee say just inside. And then Pereira, yes,
great call
on the line as he makes contact.
I'll tell you, the headache for Todd Payton is going to be his halves pairing. We looked at Dearden and Townsend, their combination in the opening minutes, the opening half of this game. They were very solid together. Drinkwater's came on, he's really taken his chances in the second half.
Cohen Hess puts it down on play number 1, and Todd's on his feet once again. He's covered more territory than Craig Bellamy tonight.
Yeah, play 1, your front rower, trying to get into an attacking field position so you can try and get on a play that you've practiced all summer. He was waiting for it. The front rower drops it.
Fresh at a 6.
He's
starting at around about the 20. He gets through some PK. Was it juicy fruit?
I don't know.
Can you still buy juicy fruit? I haven't bought some for a long time now. Yeah. It's a long time between juicy fruits for me. That's the Broncos from their own 20. There's Jordan Ricky.
Big minutes for Ricky.
Well, they scored in the 3rd minute through him off that Tyson Gamble grubby. They've got long odds they wouldn't score again. Here we are approaching the 70-minute mark. Can they cross the line once more tonight before we're done here? Hands from Kennedy through the middle of the field. He loses it in the tackle there of Kyle Felt, who keeps jamming in off the wing and getting results.
Yeah, great experience from Kyle Felt. The right edge, seeing plenty of traffic coming towards them for the Cowboys, and he continues to come in and jam hard. That time, Branko Lee under all sorts of pressure. Comes up with the error. See, in a beaten side, there's been some good performance though for the Brisbane Broncos tonight. I thought Carrigan and Haas were tremendous in the opening 20 minutes. Kobe Hetherington, even in his second stint here in this second half, he brings a great energy. Such a competitor, ferocious. And he just ignites some energy into the Broncos side. No doubt he'll be there round 1.
Cowboys win the scrum. 70 gone, 10 remaining in Mackay. It's a nice homecoming for Tom Dearden, who hails from Mackay before he went down to finish his rugby league high schooling career with Palm Beach Currumbin. They've produced a few over the years, haven't they? As Tappy Waifado is back on the inside. One of them, Ben Ikin, now the football manager for the Brisbane Broncos. Too impressive what he's seen so far here tonight. Admittedly, it's the pre-season still. As Tappy Waifado grubbers again. This time he can't win the race for the ball as he did to score their first try of the game back after 20 minutes of action. Got them working away from the corner of the field, and Oates under pressure here. Walter's a dummy half. Goes to Pereira. Oh boy, Granville was up there looking for a shot and dropped off on the effort. Giving away some size in that contest, but he's so game, Jake Granville. A couple of games at fullback. Cast memory back to the Cowboys last year, Granville. And the centres as well in one game, starting role in the centres. He came off the bench as the backup to Reece Robson in the dummy half role. Here's Mann. Puts it in the air. Coming forward, some pressure here. Or put down by Tappy Waifado. The call from Adam G is knocked backwards.
Here it is. Does good to position his body facing backwards. That's the key with it, isn't it? Just at the last minute turns his body to face backwards, but I've seen those called knock on plenty of times, plenty of times, but it's a trial. pre-season game. Referees are warming up too.
I think given the advent of the captain's challenge, where teams have challenged calls like that and won, because you're right, for 100 years plus that was a knock-on every day of the week, but then when teams started winning those calls on captain's challenges, we've seen more of them called play on. The Cowboys get the benefit of that one, and here they are, 30 out from the Broncos line. Granville comes back to the left-hand side. Drinkwater, his kicking has been good. Quite the 1-2 punch between Townsend and Drinkwater, either side of half-time as far as the general play kicking is concerned. And then here they are now. Cohen Hess gets off the line, tries to rattle the cage of Jordan Pereira. A big hit, the winger absorbed it to his credit and played it on the line as they work it away through Mead. And now Kennedy, was it charging hard? Or Corey Oates, in fact, back on the angle. Turpin. Working forward through Palacia. One more play here. Deep inside their own territory. Mam weaves his way amongst the Cowboys defenders. Kicks it down to Kyle Felt. He'll bring it back and play it just beyond the Cowboys 40. Charlie Harron watching on, big Broncos fan, says yes, you can still buy juicy fruit, Nick. Word filtering through from the Brisbane region. Juicy fruit still available in all good stores.
Good. Well, that's a positive.
Would have been a travesty had it disappeared.
Yeah, Scotty Drinkwater has injected himself since coming on at half-time. Has been tremendous down that left-hand side of the field. He's torturing the back three of the Broncos, as we see Did kicking early here.
Goes down here to be cleaned up by Asako. Where does he fit in, as you mentioned earlier on, in the grander scheme of things for Kevin Walters in 2022. Jesse New still out of action with a hamstring injury. He's a factor as well, having played quite obviously plenty of fullback for the Broncos in the second half of last season. Go lead. So a bit more action in this second half. Tied in the first half, and now Turpin out of dummy half goes to Mam. He tips it on. Ricky, the hands free, just couldn't find somebody to link up with in the Drinkwater tackle. Now Palacia. Nothing behind the play the ball. Mam wrapped up here. There by Highland Lukey. Kick from Turpin, bit of a nothing kick, almost a resigned throw back of the head as he put it on the toe, and they'll make the Cowboys work it away from inside their own 20, and the Cowboys will be happy to oblige.
Yeah, down by 20 points, 5 minutes remaining. It's going to be hard for Brisbane to come back, but a kick like that from Turpin just out of dummy half almost concedes defeat, winding the clock down. Adam Reynolds be desperately needed for round one. Capel's had some really nice moments in the pre-season fortnight.
Quite a few minutes last week, Kurt Capewell. The first half here again tonight. He is good to go, and a real addition on this left-hand side of the field. The Broncos, particularly in attack.
Always wary to go off trial form. I mean, we saw the Panthers today get beaten comprehensively by Parramatta, but we know that there's so many stars to come back into that side for the Panthers, and quality stars. But for the Broncos, I mean, obviously Adam Reynolds is the big one. Everyone's desperate to see what difference he makes to this Broncos side. Other than that, Tessie New, who's not there.
He's dead and pokes his nose through the line, swung to ground there by Hetherington, and knocks the ball on while they wait for this changeover of possession. A reminder that on Monday, March 7, your quintessential guide to the 2022 NRL season comes your way in our big Fox League season preview. No doubt this man will feature heavily when the talk turns to the Broncos in that season preview. The question is, will he be available for round one, given the hamstring injury he's carrying at the moment, which has stopped him from seeing any pre-season action.
There's some big stars, isn't there? We're hopeful that we get to see in round one. Nathan Cleary, obviously coming off that shoulder surgery. Luke Keary with the foot injury, and Adam Reynolds. Friday night, big game up against South Sydney at Suncorp Stadium. The Broncos fans would love nothing more than to have their new captain, their halfback, their general, somewhat their saviour, back in their starting side.
You can only imagine how keen he is to take on his old team That blockbuster Friday night game in round 1. Turpin waits here at dummy half as the Broncos through man, chip towards the in-goal area. It'll bounce end over end, and Felt just waiting. We'll bring it back out for a 20-metre restart. That end of the ground is a little bit drier here in Mackay, and the ball just bounding on as Felt was hopeful.
It almost sat up there, didn't it, for Jermaine Asako? Looked like a very ambitious slide from Asako, but as the ball, you're right, was it just sat up at the last minute, bounced on early, and then sat up as we see Hess now, another strong carry.
Shane Wright out there for the Cowboys, been a cameo in the last 10 minutes or so of game time here tonight. Ruben Cotter thought there was some high contact. Jordan Ricky now. Oh no, boy, that is obviously surely it's a cramp. I don't know that he was wobbling around on the wobbly boots like that. Boy, that was quite an awkward look though for a moment, wasn't it? You wondered. Drinkwater here to make the tackle on Pereira, but I think he's got cramp in both legs there. He's like a pirate with 2 wooden legs.
Oh. Very good.
Now Pereira. At his own 10, 2 minutes remaining. Jess and the boys. Angie Marshall, Corey Parker waiting to wrap up 3 big games here on Saturday of action on Fox League. It's great to be back. We missed the footy during the summertime. The cricket is great, but it's always terrific when the footy returns, and
great to have it back.
Another 3 games of pre-season action, and then it's the weekend off next week. While we wait for the competition proper to start on the Thursday night, March 10. The Premiers, the Panthers, will take on the Sea Eagles to kick things off. That'll be a beauty.
Yeah, sitting watching the Manly Sea Eagles warm up at Gosford last night, and just looking at the condition that Tom Trebojevic is in at the moment, and what we've seen with some of his touches over the pre-season fortnight of trials. Gee, that could be a builder of the game, that first one.
Should be a beauty, shouldn't it? And the real improvers in 2021 were the Sea Eagles. And deep into the final series, Walters, his pass here goes to ground. Comes back to Corey Oates, who will play it just inside the Cowboys 20. Turpin. The dummy half roll throughout this second half after it was Corey Pakes who began heavy waters tonight. Kennedy plays it, not to the ground in doing so. Should be 6 more plays here. Ezra Mam. The first up effort there of Lukey, who's played
6 more.
As far as I can see it, the entire game on that left-hand side for Todd Payton here tonight. Big effort in the pre-season for the edge forward. Hetherington taking on Cohen Hess. New set of 6. Barely time for 1, if not 2 more plays here. Kennedy on the angle. Cowboys have 1 more to hang on for here. Hit the Broncos scoreless for the last 77 minutes of the game. And man, it comes back here to Walters. He'll find Asako, shapes to kick, steps off the left boot, comes back towards the middle. Nothing doing there. He drops it on the last play. The Cowboys, through Dearden, thought about a counter-attack. That'll do it tonight. Here in Mackay, the Cowboys too good for the Broncos in the All-Queensland Derby. They've beaten them at BB Prince Stadium 26 points to 6.